Well, hello, internet friends near and far. Welcome to another episode of Parks and Conversation. This is an episode where we watch an episode of Parks and Recreation, and then we talk about it. And I am Jason, and I'm joined all the way across town by the power of the internet by my friend Jeremy. Say hello, Jeremy.
Hey, Jason. How's it going?
It is going. It is going. It's a beautiful Friday here in the Pacific Northwest as we're recording this. And yeah, it's just a good day. How are you today, sir?
I'm tired.
Yeah?
I'm just gonna say it now.
Okay.
I'm a little bit tired, and I feel like I sound different.
Well, there may be a reason for that because you have a new microphone.
I do. I don't mean to brag, but I got a new microphone, Jason.
Yes, you did. And so, yeah, listener, if you're like, it sounds like Jeremy is in a different room. He's not. He's not a hostage. Room. He's not in a taken situation. It's just a new mic, and we're getting used to it. So get used to it, friends. Or else.
I thought we'd make the change now, instead of just waiting until the next season. But whatever.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is like Ben and Chris coming in at the end of season 2.
Yeah, exactly.
People will be like, "Oh man, I wonder how that microphone's going to sound for season 7." People are on tenterhooks wondering what's going to happen there. So,
how are you doing, man?
You already asked me that, but I'm good.
I know, but like there's the hey, how's it going? Yeah, good. Cool. And then there's like, but how are you doing?
I am just fine. I'm about to go to the other side of the mountains for a conference, and I looked at the weather, and it's 96 degrees today, and I just really am not happy about that. So, kind of preparing myself for all that entails. Also, I'm just kind of thinking about getting ice cream later. So
it's good that you're planning already. So yeah. I'm tired. You're distracted. Let's do this. What are we talking about this morning?
Today, we're going to talk about season 6, episode 20, 1 in 80,000 or something. I can't remember the exact title. It is 1 in 8,000. And we're titling our episode "Catfishing Anthony Kiedis" because I think that is a much better title for our episode. So, so this is a getting close to the end of season 6, and we find out that Leslie and Ben are going to expect triplets. Andy is going to try to keep a secret, and Donna is not really sure how she feels about this man, Joe, but Ron, once again, is the voice of wisdom. So
he's so good at it.
He's so good at it. And it's probably because of the really great protective eyewear he has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is some legit 7th grade shop class teacher eyewear. It was awesome. I just thought, oh man, he looks just like Mr. Snyder.
For a long time, I don't know if he still has it, but for a long time, Nick Offerman's IMDb picture is him like he'd been in a wood shop and had been wearing his safety goggles, and he was just covered in sawdust except for where he had taken the goggles off.
Huh.
So that's a great visual story for you to imagine.
That is not his current image.
Just think of Dusty Ron.
He looks dusty still, but bearded and like he just came in from riding herd. So let's talk about these stories. Let's start with the Donna and Rana, the Rana story.
The Rana.
How about that?
Yeah. It's not Rona. It's Rana.
Rana. So, and then we'll look at the Andy, April, Leslie, Ben stories because they braid in between each other. So I guess
like
you need three.
Tapestry.
You need 3 strands for an actual braid.
More of a twist.
They twist between one another.
Also, just a good donut. A twist. It's a solid choice. Would you go with the glazed twist, or are you like the cinnamon sugar?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Oh man.
I would prefer the glazed.
Yeah.
I think the cinnamon sugar is good, but it's a little too messy.
Glazed donuts are a little bit like McDonald's fries. I feel like they're great when they're fresh, but after too long, they just like when the glaze starts to melt and turns into that, and then it's no good.
All you got to do is put a glazed donut in the microwave for maybe 10 seconds. Back to good. It's amazing. Man,
Dun,
now I want a
dun,
donut.
dun, dun.
I want ice cream and a donut. That's all I want in life. So, and not to be 100 degrees, but
Oh man.
only a few things of that can I control. So, so let's jump in because Donna approaches Ron in the office because she needs help. Ron needs help from Donna. That's what it is. And so he asks Donna to help with the costumes for the public elementary school play. And he's helping build sets. And so Donna's very stylish and he wants her expertise. And Donna's like, I'm in, but I'm going to need your help because my ex-boyfriend Joe teaches there and he's a nightmare. And so Donna, she pulls out the big guns and says, he's my Tammy.
Whoa.
Yeah. And for listeners, if you haven't been following Ron's life as closely as we have, Ron's first two wives are both named Tammy. And Tammy 1 was his the midwife at his birth, his Sunday school teacher, and also his first love. And he married her. And Tammy 2 is a librarian, and she is a psychopath. So Tammy 2 once seduced a coroner and had Ron declared legally dead just so she could get a discount on a plane ticket. So, I mean, that's the level of crazy that Ron is expecting Joe to be like.
Plane tickets are expensive, man.
They are, and they're only getting more expensive. It's ridiculous. And so Donna just like, listen, I turn into a different person and that I don't like and I don't recognize when I'm with him. And so just help me keep away from him. And so Ron's like, I'm on board. We can do this. We can work together to protect ourselves from crazy. And so they're at the school and Donna takes a picture of Ron and she's like, why are you doing that? He's like, I'm getting something in case I ever need to blackmail you. Here you are serving at a public elementary school. And then
I'm pretty sure it was a Windows phone too.
Yeah, they were actually all sponsored. Like NBC was all sponsored by Windows things at this time. And so there were so many Windows phones in the Parks and Rec universe. And how's that Windows phone doing? Exactly.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's no more. But I heard like people who had them really loved them.
I don't know. I mean,
just like the Zune.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the Zune and Chris Pratt, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yet?
3?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Guardians Trace.
You should see it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Recommend. Listener, you heard it here first. It's a good movie. So, so then Donna discreetly is like, there's Joe, 12 o'clock. And so he comes over, is like, Donna, it's so good to see you. And she's all cold to him. And he's just so nice to Donna. And then Ron like steps in front. Is like, hello, I am Ron Swanson. I am Donna's work proximity associate. And Joe again is overly nice. Like, oh, it's so good to have a face to the name. I've heard so much about you. And again, Ron is just like stone faced and cold. And Joe's like, all right, well, it's good to meet you. I got to get back to class. And as he's walking away, Ron's like, I'm on to you, friend. Tread lightly. So that would be terrifying. That would, like if somebody like that, just that you didn't know, is like, I'm on to you. That would be pretty freaky. So
yeah, good thing you always carry muffins with you.
That would be a good way to win friends and influence people.
These are French
chapter
muffins.
48 of Dale Carnegie's book. Muffins, bro. And that's the whole chapter. So the next time we see Ron at the school, he's watching Joe talk to some parents. He's like, "What did you do now?" And they're crying. And he's like, "What did you do now?" And then camera pans over, and he's like, "We thought we'd have to tell Dylan that his dog was gone forever." Just like, "Oh man, no, don't worry about it. I'm so sad when my students are upset. I just went out driving around, checked a few neighborhood parks. It barely took 6 hours." he drove around for 6 hours to find a student's dog, and
you gotta think you got a dog, you got a responsibility.
So, I mean,
you gotta get out there and find that dog.
Yeah, I know. This is a Billy Madison reference. Billy Madison? Yeah. I get Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore so confused because they're almost the same movie.
One has golf.
That's true. But the presence of golf doesn't override the extremity of Adam Sandler-ness of it all. So it's like, which one is that? Where he talks like a crazy person?
Little Nicky.
Oh my gosh, that movie's so dumb. That's up there in worst movies ever committed to film.
Jack and Jill.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many of the Adam Sandler movies are going to be on that list. He has some really great ones, and then a bunch of, all right, well, at least you got paid. So then Joe offers this family muffins. He's like, I made them last night. And mom eats is like, it's the best muffin I've ever had. And Ron is watching this whole thing and he's like perplexed. Like, I thought this Joe person was a monster. So continues working, and then Ron's step kids come and they want to play with him, and Ron's like, I've got sharp tools and I need you to be careful. And they're yelling and screaming, and Joe comes over and he sings a song to them, and the girls join in, and it refocuses them, and then they go off to whatever they're going to do. And Ron is like, wow, that's amazing. And Joe is like, children their age respond positively to melody and rhyme. And he's like, you must feel very lucky to be their stepdad. He's like, I do. And then he's like, so if you finish excuse me, I got to finish this project here. Specifically, he's hogging out the cheeks on these lap joints. And then Joe was like, oh, maybe you could use this jig I made.
Just hanging out in his pocket.
And he's like, it's a hardwood clamping block connected to a small piece of hackleberry. You could use it to locate your cuts on the inside shoulder, and then both at the same size without having to reset the fence. And so Ron is like, he's smiling. He's like, this is great. And he gives him a muffin and he takes it. It's like, and Ron is just so happy. He's like, I've got a friend here in Joe, but he's also my enemy, and I'm supposed to protect him from Donna. So he's the first time Ron's ever probably felt conflicted ever. And so he finally goes over to Donna and is like, honestly, I don't care, but I'm just going to say it. I like Joe. He's a nice man who's good with kids, and he seems to be smart and patient. And Donna's like, I know, that's why he's my Tammy. And he's like, when we're together, all we do is have sex, sit on the couch, eat homemade pasta, have sex again. And we're like, no, enough. Too much. And Donna's like, he wants to just connect with me and be with me. It's a nightmare. I become boring. And Ron, here's some wisdom from Ron. Live your life how you want, but don't confuse drama with happiness. And that is an excellent thing that we should all remember every day of our lives on this small world. So
stay off the E channel, people.
Yeah, please. So then we come to Joe again, and he's talking to some parents, and he noticed that their tire was flat, and so he fixed it, inflated it, and like, but you're gonna want to go to a garage because it's not gonna do the thing. And then Donna comes up to him, is like, listen, I like to do things. I like to go to these different places. Sometimes I might disappear because I'm fly fishing or I'm at a Seattle Sounders game. And he's like, I won't cheat on you if you promise not to pin me down too fast. And Joe is like, I got no problem with that. And Donna's like, you could take me to dinner on Friday. And Joe's like, if you wear that red thing. And she's like, well, I'll wear that red thing when you deserve to see me in that red thing. And she walks away. And then Joe's like, go make some muffins. And Joe is a great character. I love Joe. And he is played by Keegan-Michael Key. We should have said that earlier. And he is from Key and Peele. He's great. I love Joe. So then Ron is working, and the girls come and they put costumes on him and say Ron is king of Sparkle Cupcake Forest. And he's, much obliged, and they go off and keep playing. And then Donna's like, I'm going to dinner with Joe. And it's always nice to see someone actually change for the better. And Ron's like, yeah, Joe seems like a good man. But at this point, I'm done talking about it. And Donna then's like, no, talking about you. You're the one who's changed. Having a family has made you a more patient and empathetic person. And Ron's like, you take that back. And Donna's like, did you ever think 2 years ago you'd be playing matchmaker for me while wearing a glittery crown? and so Donna notices a good change in Ron, and Ron is helping Donna with her relationship. And listener, as we continue down the road, like, this is a long-term commitment for Donna. First time we ever see her in any kind of commitment with a man. And so it's a good thing that's happening here. So that's the first line. Have you ever met a teacher like Joe? Jeremy?
No, I've met some really some pretty amazing teachers, but not. I mean, he was a caricature of the perfect teacher in a way. But my girls have had some teachers who obviously go above. Teachers have such a rough job, so anytime they go above and beyond, or teachers are amazing.
Teachers are amazing. I believe that children are the future. Mm-hmm. Teach them well. Let them lead the way. And who's going to help do that? Teachers. Thanks, teachers. Who was your favorite teacher growing up?
Mrs. Alves in 5th grade. She was amazing. She was like my first teacher that kind of skirted, it seemed like she was skirting the rules, like, oh, you don't have to do this, but it was really just her way of kind of getting people to engage and do stuff with the curriculum. I mean, we did amazing projects, and she gave me a book of facts. Like, when I was in 5th grade, I was really into facts. And so I'd always be the know-it-all guy that was like, did you know that the human brain weighs 8 pounds? I was like that guy.
Oh, you were the kid from Jerry Maguire?
I was, yeah. And I didn't have glasses. And yeah, so I got a book of facts. And I was like, she's the first teacher that was like, oh, you get me. So yeah. How about you?
My favorite teacher was my 8th grade history teacher. He was great. Mr. Bliley. Very engaging. I love history largely because of that class. Things don't end well for Mr. Bliley. So I won't go into it, but he was a great teacher. So, yeah. Anyway, so thank your teachers. Thank your kids' teachers. If you have kids, listener, please, especially as we're coming to the end of the school year, they're on fumes right now. And please be nice to teachers. And don't freak out when they read a book that maybe is difficult for you. Anyway, I got thoughts. Don't
And you
freak
can hear
out.
more about those thoughts in Jason's post Parks and Rec podcast.
Don't freak out when your teachers teach kids about actual things that happen in this country, because it goes against your narrative that George Washington never told a lie or ever pooped. Like, I mean, he's a person, and he was a person in complicated times, right? So
100%.
we
Sometimes
should
you got to
talk
dig your
about
own
the
hole.
complicated. Yeah, sometimes you do. Anyway, I love teachers. So, all right. So, let's jump in here. Last week's episode, we learned that Leslie's pregnant, and Andy knows, and that's a problem for Andy in this episode.
For Andy,
because he has to keep a secret. And so, as they're getting started, they're working on some Unity concert planning, and they are going over some the big tickets so far. And April's like, I got the Red Hot Chili Peppers to send us a signed guitar. And we find out she did that because it's a long story, but short version, I'm currently catfishing Anthony Kiedis, who is the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers. So that's pretty exciting. So they also we have a talking head where Leslie's talking about the charity auction to raise money, and they're going to need to if they're going to perform Islands in the Stream with a Sacagawea hologram. That's and that plus all that lights, generators, microphones, water, boring stuff too. What's funny about this joke here is she wants a Sacagawea hologram, but there is a hologram at the Unity concert, and it's not Sacagawea. It's probably somebody even more important.
Wow. Well, to the people of Pawnee anyway.
Right. So it's pretty exciting. We'll get to that next week. So Ben's like, hey, we got to put a pin on this because we got to go to that thing. And they're all secretive and weird. And they leave. And I was like, everybody keep working. We'll be back. And then Ben takes Andy aside. Like, hey, you haven't told anyone about the baby, right? He's like, no, but the stress, I'm going to explode. I'm not good at keeping secrets. That's exactly what I told Kyle when he told me that his wife was cheating on him, and pan out. Kyle's right there. It's like, Andy, come on.
Andy, come on. We haven't seen Kyle in a while. And, the next time we do, secret's out.
Well deployed Kyle use right here. And then so Kyle's like, oh no, not him, not that Kyle. And Leslie's like, all right, we have a doctor's appointment, and after that we'll probably tell people, so just hang in there. He's like, I can do this, please, people do this, please, just help me. And he's like, people keep secrets. My neighbor Eric, he's kept a secret for 20 years. He's in witness protection. And then Andy falls to the ground. And like he died from
can't help himself.
So they're going to the doctor's office, and Leslie's still thinking about the auction, and she's like, we need to raise $30,000. Can we auction off the fish in the tank? Do you think they're valuable? And she's about to go for it, and Ben's like, maybe you should start taking it easy. You're stressing out for two. And he's like, that's actually a good t-shirt idea. And he takes out his little notebook and writes it down.
Oh my gosh. Ben and I love Ben. I have a notes app that's full of my t-shirt ideas.
I know. As I was watching this, I was like, Jeremy has that. I know he has one of those. So then Les is like, I can't calm down. The concert's really near, and if you're worried, let's just ask Dr. Saperstein what he thinks. And then Dr. Saperstein says, someone say Saperstein? Come on, you two, let's saddle you up and put some jelly on the belly. Which is so gross. And Leslie and Ben are like, oh, that's weird. And then back at the office, Craig comes in, and he just yells, look at me. And he's like, I want to auction off a personalized Johnny Karate song tomorrow, so I need you to come to the auction. And then he's like, auction? Okay, yeah. He starts writing it down on his notes system, which is overwhelming. And April's like, you can't do that. What's that?
Oh, I just felt like he watched Memento, and he's like, I need that.
That's the best way.
That's how I'm going to do it.
And Andy's like, you can't do this. You already have 3 Johnny Karate shows tomorrow. And Andy pulls out his arm, not according to my file here. And he's like, oh, I forgot the other hand. And so April's like, we need a better system. Look, I'll write down an itinerary so you can just focus on the songs. And okay, well, you have to catalog all this stuff. And he holds out his arms and hands. And one of them is don't tell secret. And he's like, oh, no, not that one. And April's like, if you have a secret, you have to tell me. And like, I can't. It's nothing. I don't have anything. I'm not acting weird. You're acting weird. Excuse me. I have to get back to work now. And so, so April really wants to know this secret.
As he pulls his shirt up over his head.
Yeah, because he gets hot and sweaty.
And then, yeah, he gets hot and sweaty. And then he actually has more information written on his stomach.
Yes. Yeah, he's got so many things, so many coals on the fire. So back at Dr. Saperstein's office, Leslie asks him, like, hey, Ben wants me to slow down, but I have this huge project coming up. Slowing down isn't really my jam. And Dr. Saperstein says, you're a healthy gal, right? But there's no reason for you to not be yourself. And Leslie's like, I win. And Ben's like,
she's being herself.
It wasn't a competition. And so then Dr. Saperstein's like, well, let's see what's going down in Babytown. There's your healthy baby. He's doing the whole thing. And oh, what's this? Another one. And Ben's question, the baby has 2 bodies. And they're like, twins? We're having twins. And no, you're not. Because look who you're hiding over here. Triplets. And then he's like, and here's a 4th. Oh, no, sorry. That's a little cream cheese on the screen. Just triplets. And Leslie, I can't believe it. We knocked it out of the park on the first try. And if we do this right, we could be parents to 1/3 of the Supreme Court. And Ben is completely overwhelmed already. This is insane. And Leslie's like, this is amazing. And I always knew we were 1 in a million. And now we got the proof. And Dr. Saperstein's, well, actually, it's 1 in 8,000. Triplets occur a lot more frequently, especially at your age. What doctors like to call a going out of business sale. As you drop multiple eggs. And so Ben then, in classic Ben form, Jeremy, would you read Ben's lines here? Because I think only you can do it justice.
All right. This is insane. 3 kids. I just multiplied all our future expenses by 3. And you know what happened? The numbers got higher. I think I heard the computer laugh at me. And Saperstein wants us to relax.
And then Leslie comes out. Are you ready to go, my gentle dove?
Oh, I will be there in 2 flaps of butterfly's wing. And I love you. We are so screwed.
Man, I have.
Of course, he has it all planned out. Of course, it's all on a spreadsheet. And oh my gosh,
could you imagine? I aspire to have that kind of power, like powerful spreadsheet where I can like just type things in and like know what's going on. I can't get there.
It just has the power to just freak you out at a moment's notice. I think that's too much power. Like,
well, I feel like
ignorance is bliss.
You comfort, like knowing, like, oh, there's no. I mean, we know where we're going. We know what's happening. I feel like that, but then I start building the thing, and I don't feel like that anymore.
Exactly. It's like the meme that's like, man, if I retired right now, I could live comfortably for 2 whole weeks.
Yeah, I saw a joke. Oh, no, and I can't remember it now. I shouldn't have even started talking.
Welcome to my world.
And it was basically about how like you go to the doctor and
keep it going.
You don't have much time, and the doctor's like, I know. Anyway, it was very funny when I saw it the first time. Continue on with the story. Jerry is helping Andy and April with their gig. And Jerry is carrying around the sound equipment, which is completely unnecessary for what Andy is going to do. Jerry has brought in a subwoofer and a Marshall stack. Mm-hmm. Like these are speakers that are tremendously powerful, and Andy is just using an acoustic guitar and his voice.
Johnny Karate rocks.
And it's like you're just making Jerry lug things around for no good reason. But Jerry asks, whose birthday is this anyway? And it turns out it's Councilman Dexhart. And the banner says, happy birthday to various children. and Dexhart's like, I don't know. I have so many kids from different women. I just get all their birthdays out of the way one day a year. And he looks over at ladies, and all the moms are over there just scowling at him. So then
he's the worst.
He is the worst. Dexhart's awful. So April is working through the itinerary. He's like, all right, it gives us 50 minutes travel time, 50 minutes to take a wet nap, shower in the car. And he's like, I need one. Also, tell me your secret. And he's like, I can't. I don't want to break the promise. And he's like, no, just please tell me. And she's pressuring. I was like, all right, it's about Larry. He's very sick. He has some kind of disease. And he's like, oh, is that why you've been so nice to let him carry all your stuff? Yes, that's the reason. Yeah. So all the stuff he's carrying, that is just not even needed at all. It gets me so frustrated. As a former person of a band, like, this is terrible. So then April at the birthday party goes over to Larry. He's like, hey there, big guy. And she's got a drink for him. And Jerry's like, oh, you remember that time you put sleeping pills in my soda? I fell right over in the middle of a town hall meeting. And I was like, no, I don't remember that. You made a video of it and showed it at my birthday party. Yeah, it went over real big. And April's like, well, I'm sorry. Is there anything I do to make it up for you? And Jerry's like, yeah, that's sweet. I have an itch that I've not been able to get all day, even against the wall. Nothing will do it. And would you mind doing that? And April's like, not at all. And then he's like, you got to go up my shirt and scratch my back. And yeah, it's not great. And then
I feel like Jerry had a much hairier back than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't look. You know, there's some people they're like, oh wow, I never would have thought. Not that it matters.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter, but it is.
It was surprising nonetheless.
It is not what you thought. And so Ben sees all this going on, and Andy sees all this calling up. He calls Ben. He's like, can I just please tell April? And Ben's like, look, everything's fine, but it's complicated. There's a lot going on. So just don't say anything about anything forever. Okay. And Andy just sits there quietly. And then he's like, you can say, okay, bye. I didn't mean to say goodbye. So then they're at the auction, and the next item is naming the children's tent. And Leslie's all calm and chill. And it's like, let's start the bidding at $1,000, please. And Jam's like, I'll bid $100. And Leslie's like, oh, what? No. Oh, thank you, madam. A very wealthy and elegant looking woman with a diamond encrusted eye patch just raised her hand. Don't look at her. She doesn't like the attention, but she's there. She's real. Do I hear 2,000? Jeremy sees all the way through this, and Leslie keeps like, oh, the Sheik is throwing his hat into the ring. And Jeremy's like, there's no Sheik. There's no bidding war. No one's talking. There's no Sheik. There's only an oldie diamond patch. 3,000, says the gentleman. And Leslie's trying to convince, and he's like, no, $100. It's my bid. And so he has the naming rights now for the kids' tent. It goes to Jam Orthodontics for 100 smackers. And Ben just like looks at Leslie. This is going great. You want a head massage? And with one of those like scalp massage metal whisks.
Spider whisks.
It's like a broken whisk. Like somebody just, I wonder what this would feel like if they cut it off and then they just used it on their noggin. And so
this is broken. You know what? I'm going to stick it on my head.
There's got to be a purpose for this. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what Ranger Rick and Ronnie told me.
They feel really good though.
They do. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I would never.
There you go.
I would never lie about it, but
buy one. Yeah. Okay.
Also true. I never would buy one. I just feel like if you keep buying these things, then these
they'll keep making them.
the farmers markets will keep supplying them. So
yeah.
Like, where did you learn how to do this, Etsy? So back at the party, April says, Annie told me what's going on. It's like, oh, really? I was trying to keep it hush hush. It's kind of embarrassing. And April's like, well, if you ever need to talk to anyone, I'm here for you. Or like, I'm here standing near you. And so she was like, well, earlier today I was licking icing off my finger, and then and then boom, swallow my wedding ring. And I wish I could say it was for the first time, but wait, you're not dying? He's like, oh no, it can be painful, but I've done this a couple times. I'm very good at passing it. It's just a matter of getting out the old colander.
The old colander.
No.
Don't. Oh man, skip spaghetti night at the Gurgiches.
Yeah, like the popcorn bowl. That's also the barf bowl in every household. The colander, which is already something that's not easy to get real clean. It's sifting feces. So, April knows Andy is not telling the whole truth, and so then jump back to the auction, and Leslie is trying to get more people to bid on things, and she's like, calls out Pearl. It's like, don't make me pull the permits on your rental units. And Pearl stands up and he says, hey, all the paperwork on those buildings are under my dog's name. So if you got a problem, take it up with Princess. And Ben's like, why don't you take a whale sounds break, okay? And he puts the headphones on and asks Leslie to go kind of stand aside. He's like, oh, come on, guys. We're bidding on the guitar signed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Just think about all their great songs covering everything from the culture of Southern California to drug use in Southern California. And Herman, the pawn shop owner, says, I'll bid $30. And he's like, come on, this is $500. Like, why don't you bid on it? And he's like, we're just trying to raise some money. And no one gets stressed out. Fine. And Herman's like, $50. Another win for old Herman. And he goes up and he takes the guitar and he starts rubbing off the signatures. Like, why would you erase the signatures? Like, I'm more of a Jack Johnson guy.
Herman's got the right idea.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, oh no.
Are you a fan of Jack Johnson?
I would probably rather listen to Jack Johnson than Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Wow. I would rather have silence than either of them.
No, you got to choose. That's not how it works. I didn't get C.
Death.
Just death. None of the above. Yeah, no. The Peppers are fine. There's a stretch in the early 2000s where they were everywhere and everything for so long, and I just got burnt out. Yeah, and now I just hear it and it's like, have you guys made anything new ever recently?
Well, the cool thing though is, when Napster came out, they already had a theme song. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. And they were like, wait a minute. We didn't really mean that.
That's what it was all about peer-to-peer file sharing. That's what that song was about.
Yep. And then they're like, that was a bad idea. How do we get on that Metallica lawsuit? So if anybody remembers the early 2000s, Lars Ulrich, whatever. Lars sued Napster. Who would have thought Metallica was so litigious? So Ben is like, come on, we're just trying to raise some money. Why are you taking this off? And the guy's like, if you want it so bad, why didn't you bid for it? And he's like, I don't even like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's not even the original lineup. And so he tries to take it back, and like they're back and forth, and like he pulls it and he gets cut and he's on the floor. He's like, I'm okay. And Craig is like, oh, there's blood everywhere. Call a doctor. No, call a coroner. It just got insane. So
call a doctor, but not for me.
That's how I would feel. Blood is not my thing. So then they're at the doctor, and Dr. Harris, who we haven't seen in so long, looks at Ben and is like, you have very weak hands.
Why would you say that?
Just making an observation. And Les like, the EMT said that if Flea had sent you his bass, you could have lost a thumb. And
that's the best chili pepper joke right there.
And Ben's like, I'm totally fine, babe. Everything is A-OK, Coolio beans. You want to meditate real quick? Like, we don't have time. We have a concert to save. Excuse me. He's feeling better. Can we go? Looking at the nurse is like, can we go? Right, Ann? And he's like, I got to stop doing that. Thinking every nurse is Ann. So they leave. Unless like, there's got to be another way to raise money. Maybe win the lottery. Maybe I mean, we just hit like triple cherries in my uterus, and Ben's like, we're screwed. And I was like, no, we have weeks until the concert. Like, it'll be fine. Not the concert, the triple cherries. I mean, it's amazing. It's wonderful. But the cold, hard facts, raising these kids is going to cost $2 million. And I was like, they'll be geniuses. They'll get scholarships. And half my tuition was paid for by the Indiana Scholarship for Pretty Blondes Who Like to Read. It's now called the Virginia Woolf Prize. Different time. And unless Ben's like, what do we need to meet? Why are you not stressed out? We just spent our entire savings on a trip to Paris. What were we thinking? We spent way too much on macaroons. And let's like, it's okay. And Ben keeps getting more and more elevated and aggravated. And Leslie is calmer and calmer. And Leslie finally takes that thing at that dream scalp or whatever and massages him and starts laughing. And he's like, he's freaked out. I was like, with the thing on his head, how are you so calm right now? And Leslie's like, because I realized something. Everything that we've been through, the Harvest Festival, the election, the recall, the merger, and leaving, Larry changing his name for some stupid reason, all of it has just been preparation for this. And I'm immune to stress because I have you. And Ben earlier is like, will say like that he's basically a ShamWow absorbing up all of this stress and he need to get ringed out someday. But yeah, but
I think we skipped the part 2 though.
Did we? Yeah,
there's a little green part, but basically it was just April and Andy going back and forth about trying to get the secret out of Andy, and he was just coming up with a whole bunch of like, Larry's dying, no, Leslie's dying, they're both dying, I'm dying, Chris and Ann are moving, they already moved, no, they're moving again to Chinatown in France. Anyway,
so Andy is really trying to keep the secret, and I'm sorry I missed that. Everybody, please forgive me.
I got you, man.
Please don't write the review on your podcatcher.
Podcast Yelp.
Yeah. And so Leslie's like, I got an idea. So we're back at the office. Andy is in his camo, face paint, everything, hiding along the mural in the conference room. And he was like, I can see you. Really? Yeah. You don't have to hide from me. I don't care about the secret anymore. I just thought that when we got married, you'd share everything. But if you really can't tell me, whatever, it's fine. I trust you. And Andy's like, it's just a really big secret. And for once, I wanted to keep my word. But screw it. It's more important. You're more important than anything. It's super juicy. You ready? Okay. And Leslie comes in, everybody, if you could gather around. And he's like, they're here. Don't try to get it out of me anymore. And so Leslie then tells everybody, the reason we've been acting so weird is not because I've been waiting on the results of the soil samples to come back. And Jerry's like, well, geez, I've been up all night trying to make sure. And he's like, it doesn't matter. It was a pointless ruse designed to waste time. The truth is, I'm pregnant. And he's like, yes, I did it. I kept the secret. And everybody's excited. Congratulations. Wonderful thing. And Ron's like, you will both raise a wonderful child with whom I will profoundly disagree on nearly everything, which sums it up quite well. And Ben's like, actually, it's children, plural. We're having triplets. And everybody then freaks out. And Ben's like, we are a little freaked out about it. And still, everyone is so excited. And Jerry's like, look, we have everything our kids ever use. So like, don't buy anything. We'll help you. And Ron sees a triple crib as an interesting woodworking challenge. And Donna is like, my friend Joe has the hookup on all the good preschools. And April then says, I can babysit anytime except for weekends and nights, but we're free anytime during work hours. So they are so excited. And then Craig comes in and it's like, well, I sold everything on the auction list. No thanks to you people. And it's like, what's so wonderful that you're all celebrating while I do all the hard work? And Leslie, we're having triplet. Oh, great. First, my cousin Winona gets in a car accident the night my one-man show opens. And now this. Why are my accomplishments always overshadowed? congratulations, I suppose. And he sulks
as he's
off.
heading out.
and it's like, well, that's nice of him. Yeah, I'll take that.
Like over his shoulder, just like, look at me. Craig is by far the best addition to the show ever.
He's wonderful. Yeah, I love
he's
Craig.
So great.
So,
yeah. Gregory.
And that's the episode. So pretty exciting. This one was rated a certain rating on IMDb. Where is it?
It numbers among the rankings.
I'm scrolling. I can't find the rating even. Weird. I'll keep scrolling.
Well, it's keeping a secret from you.
Oh man, that's so meta. Okay, well, it's not rated.
I know. I'm amazing.
It's rated as an 8.1. 8.1. So that's pretty up there.
That is up there. What did you think? I mean, what do you think of this episode?
I think it's pretty good. I think I do feel like it's just kind of moving things around more than like trying to be super funny. There are funny things, but yeah.
This is more of like a sweeter one, like Dawn is like basically saying like, hey, you've changed, you're awesome now. And, you're so much more patient. And then, the triplets, obviously, but then the whole idea that, Ben's freaking out because they're not going to be prepared, but they have this amazing community around them and they don't need to freak out as much. But yeah, 8.1. Wow.
Yeah, that seems higher than necessary.
Yeah, and I feel like when you get towards the end of a season, the episodes have a tendency to tick up because we're down to the last two, moving up part 1 and part 2. And that's it.
Yeah.
8.8 and 8.9 or 9.2.
Those are great episodes.
Yeah.
And the preview photo on IMDb is just one of the funniest, dumbest things in this whole show. It's this setup is just so great. Have you been to San Francisco?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of hills.
It's very hilly. I mean, Seattle's pretty hilly. San Francisco's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So, it just makes me laugh every time I watch that one. I laugh so hard. So, yeah. All right. Also, we go to Endor in the next couple episodes. And I think on most streaming services, it's split up on IMDb into 2 episodes, but I think most streaming services just play through. So I think when
what are you saying?
We should probably just go for both of them.
You want to go big for the finale? All right. I'm down. Yeah, let's do it.
So,
what's the worst that can happen? A 2-hour podcast?
I don't understand why you applied worst to that idea.
The best thing that can happen. A 2-hour podcast.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, cool. There you go. Why do my accomplishments always get overshadowed?
Well, speaking of accomplishments, I hope you accomplish your goal of getting ice cream and staying cool over on the hot side of the state.
Thank you. I need all the thoughts and prayers. All of them.
They're yours, man.
Oh, thanks. That's great.
Well, until next time.
Today on a very special Parks and Conversation. Bye.
Bye.
All right. See you later.